Hey, ZombieTactics coming at you today. An unshaven ZombieTactics. What's up with that? Today bringing you another firearms training review. Today talking about Stone Cold. This is about the 10th take of this. It is Stone Cobra Tactical is the name of the company, and I keep wanted to say Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm not even a fan of wrestling, but it's one of those things stuck in your head. All right, if I mispronounce it again, you'll know why. Stone Cobra. There's their logo, and I'll put a link certainly in the video notes so that you can go to their website and check them out. I took the Introduction to Pistol and Carbine class taught by Gordon Gray out at the Sacramento Valley Shooting Center recently, and this is my review or my overview of that course. Well, what is the Intro to Handgun and Carbine? They've got a couple of other courses. One's called Basic Handgun, and the other one's called Basic Carbine, or Carbine 1, I think. Again, you can look it up on their website for the details. And what they've kind of done is they've taken those two one-day classes and kind of squashed together the most critical content of them into one-day class that at the time that I took it was a $150 class. That's a pretty good value for what you're getting. $150 a day for firearms training is pretty typical in the industry, and that's a good deal. So what was the course all about? Well, as the title might suggest, Intro to Pistol and Carbine. Certainly not a hard-charging, tactical, bounding maneuvers and running around barrels and all that kind of stuff type of class. And not really a class about tactics per se, but a class about solid fundamentals of operating a pistol or operating a rifle or a carbine in a defensive kind of situation. And the class was very well suited for that. Gordon Gray, great instructor, one of those guys that's been there, done there, seen it all. He's been a SWAT cop, he's been a police officer, he's been in the military, he's been a training director in various organizations in his military and law enforcement career, brings a great breadth of experience to the table for a class like this, and a great guy and a great instructor. I don't say that lightly. If I thought he was a troll, I don't know what I'd do. I wouldn't say he's a troll, but I wouldn't give him such a glowing review. And talking about the basics of operating a pistol. So we're going to go over things like the basic operation of your weapon, whatever type of handgun that might be, whatever type of rifle that might be. Most of the people in the class having an AR-15 for the rifle portion of it. How does your particular gun, what are the basic manipulations and techniques that you have to use to bring that gun into battery so that it's ready to fire? What is proper safety handling, both on a range and in daily carry and things like that? How to get a good sight picture, how to properly control the trigger along with good trigger reset, various kinds of approaches to doing multiple shots, head shots, body shots, things like that. All of the solid basic fundamentals that you would find for pistol and carbine. Now you might ask yourself, for somebody like me who's had a lot of trainings, is something like this valuable? Well, you go into this kind of thing and you kind of say, well, I know all this stuff. I've done this before. I know how to handle my rifle. I know how to handle my pistol. But it's amazing how much, if you slow down and take a more low-key course like this, you sort of find problems that you've developed over the years that you might want to work on. So it's not necessarily just a course for beginners, although I think everybody in the class but me, this was kind of their first real course. And for that reason, it was great that Gordon is the kind of guy who is a good diagnostician. He can watch what his students are doing and figure out where they're having a problem and how he can best coach them to fix that problem. I saw that happen over and over with the pistol. I saw that happen particularly with rifle. Things having to do with safety or getting your grip correct. This is one of the reasons why a small class like this with a patient, experienced instructor is a very, very good idea. Lots of individual attention, lots of time for Gordon to take time with each student and work on their individual problems and get them right. This would be an ideal course for for someone who's had a handgun and or a rifle, well, both, because it's both, and you want to get a solid grounding in the fundamentals before you take off on more hard driving tactical styles of training. This will really get you kind of sorted out for what all those fundamentals are, so that you've got an opportunity to do this in a relatively stress-free way without worrying about getting flustered or getting lost in a class of a lot more people. All the pistol stuff, very solid, basic technique, presentation, sight picture, all that stuff, like I said. The same thing with the rifle, basic techniques of getting your rifle sighted in, how to manipulate the particular manual of arms for your rifle. One of the great things about the rifle portion of the day was I think Gordon did one of the best 20-minute demo lectures of breaking down care and feeding, lubing, cleaning of an AR-15 that I've ever seen. 20 minutes. He went through all of the particulars in a way that I thought, wow, I really learned something from that. And I've taken apart AR-15s before, but I really came away going, I really got something out of that equipped thing, and I know all of the guys that were there. It was a big eye-opener for them as well. And then, on to actually shooting the rifle and getting that going. If I had any criticism of the class at all, it was probably that I would have enjoyed more time in the rifle portion of the course, but that's probably because that's one of my weaker areas in firearms manipulations. That may be more a personal comment than a comment about the class itself. But overall, nothing to complain about. Nothing in the way of safety, or nothing in the way of technique that I kind of looked at and said, oh, that's a little hinky. No, this was all solid stuff. You could find things that you do differently in different classes, but those kinds of arguments will always continue. Oh, I don't like this stance. Oh, I don't like that particular grip. Oh, I don't like, that kind of stuff is silly to argue about. You go into a class and you adopt their methodology and you take away from it what you will. And there's a lot to take from this class. Stone Cobra Tacticals Intro to Handgun and Carbine. I thought it was a day well spent, even for an experienced shooter. Certainly something that you would feel comfortable taking your family members to, a wife, a daughter, a son, a younger son, something like that, to get familiar with a weapon in a very, very friendly, stress-free environment, learning all the fundamentals and getting all of those down solid for your defense or anti-zombie purposes. That's ZombieTactics today with the review of Stone Cobra Tacticals Intro to Carbine and Pistol. And we'll see you next time with more of these videos and more of all the other crazy stuff we do on this channel. That's ZombieTactics. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.